fun?
This is what happens when Rich isn't running the show.
I feel free.
He loves doing the radio part of it, like, welcome to My Wife Hates Me, and we do our plugs. He knows what he's doing.
I could easily take over for that, though, because I don't know if you know, but I spent 10 years on broadcast radio in San Diego and Los Angeles, California.
Let's talk a little bit about that song. I don't give a shit about your past history.
That song is called Tethered to the Dark. It's a one-off. I don't know if you know anything about the climate of rock and roll right now, Bonnie, but we're all broke.
I know it's cold.
Any independent
rock and roll climate
musician who is not Beyonce or Jay-Z is living in a flea-bitten loft in Williamsburg.
One of our guests is downstairs. I thought it was all taken care of.
Phil Hanley from Canada has passport problems and just problems in general.
Yeah, it's like, you know what it is? And I'm Canadian.
Hold on, that's right.
I realized that Canadians have no sense of direction. I don't know what it is. If they've just been like following, they can just follow the stars to get where they want to go. I don't know what happens. I don't have a sense of direction, and Phil doesn't either.
Well, that's what you did. I read You're Better Than Me.
Yeah.
I know your life story.
Do you?
We're also joined by my good pal and great pal. In fact, I would say best friend of Nikki Glaser.
Wow.
My former roommate, Mr. Tom Brady.
Hey, how's it going?
Wait,
Thanks for having
he's
me.
best friends with Nikki Glaser? Or you were saying you're best friends with Nikki
I think we both
Glaser?
are.
I thought I was, but she does this thing where,
She's a two-timer.
Yeah, when I'm not around, she'll be like, my best friend Tom Brady. And then when I'm around her, she'll be like, my best friend lives in New York. And I think she wants me to know that that's me. But
Well, I live in New York too, though.
Yeah, so
I know.
that's what she's doing. She's straddling the fence there.
Sometimes when I'm hanging out with her, she says your name, though, if that makes you feel better.
It
like
does.
if she's having fun.
yes, it totally does. Yeah, Tom's here. Tom, are you poor?
Oh, I'm poor. I'm the poorest I've ever been. The other night, I tried to buy my girlfriend like a fancy drink at a bar, and I realized I had forgotten to bring any money, and I don't carry I don't have cash on me anymore, so I had to make her buy it.
How are you a comedian and you don't have any cash on you? That's how we get paid.
I know. Well, I hadn't gotten paid that. I thought I was getting paid to do my set, and I wasn't.
But you said it like, I never have any cash on me. Like you're just dealing in bitcoins at this point of your life.
That's true. Most of my money is in cash from that's true, but I just didn't have any that night.
You got we're comedians, man. We're the last of the cash carriers. Us and mobsters. That's it.
And dancers?
Mobsters.
I get paid in cash once in a while, but that's like a bad gig. I think you guys get paid in cash.
I think that's all of them, though.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, like the cash ones, right?
Yeah.
I think someone's on the line. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Can you hear me? Am I the one who's on the line right now?
You are. It's you. I didn't know because there was a call and then Lewis left and it's not. Did you even talk to Lewis? Oh, he's still here.
He called me, so I'm going to put you on hold. Which you don't put me on hold.
You don't put Rich Voss on hold. I'm the wife. He's the guy you hate. Right?
Okay, let me explain what I'm going through in my life.
Can you tell people why you're not here tonight?
I'm in a golf tournament down in Ocean City, Maryland. I came down yesterday, played.
See, he didn't know how to get in the door. Phil Hanley.
Phil Hanley's walking in, Rich, just to give you an idea. Phil was like this. He's just a skinny Canadian, rapping on the window.
He can't get in the door.
He's very weak.
I know who he is. He's a nice guy.
Oh, my God.
And
also, when you said golf tournament, I thought you said goth tournament, because all I hear is rock and roll references, music references.
Oh, okay. So it's a golf tournament, and today was a tournament, and it's not like any other tournament because it wasn't real. There's some holes with golf, some holes you threw a frisbee and then hit a ball.
Oh, God. Why?
It was, I don't know.
It was for kids?
It's a radio station. It was a fundraiser for a hospital. So anyhow, I mean,
also gross. Am I right, guys? Ew.
They had me in a suite that's just like I could fit in my living room. There's a table for 10 in case I have 10 people over to eat. In my hotel suite, 4 beds, 3 jacuzzis, and a lonely headliner. And now the show, okay, the tournament started at 12 o'clock, but there was no dinner after. So
you know what? Can I just stop you for a second? Because I
What?
went like this, like I was sad about it, but I really didn't have any feeling at all. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the tournament started at 12 o'clock. It took 6 hours, but there was no dinner. So everybody just left, right?
So you're
now I
supposed
have
to go
do
on
it.
now.
No, yeah, I'm supposed to do a show, and there's maybe 12 people. They all left. They're all exhausted, which I don't blame them. I wouldn't stick around after 6 hours of golf, and, the half of them are drunk and drinking. The first thing I want to do is get in my car and get out of here, too.
So what do you, I don't understand. Are you going to do the show?
I don't know. There's another comic. I'll do a few minutes.
Who's the other comic?
Here. This guy, Keith Purnell. He drove down an hour.
Do you guys know him? Keith Purnell?
Never heard of him.
They don't know him.
Nobody knows Keith
What
Purnell.
city are you in?
Ocean City,
Ocean
Maryland.
City.
Okay. I see how this show works. You just hate everybody who's on the panel.
Okay, hey, can you tell? Hey, listen. If you're not singing a song, put a damper on it.
Okay.
Oh my
So-
Got it. I know. I got it.
I
So-
swear, I do feel a little jealous because I thought that he only talked to me that way.
So the thing is, I'm going to either drive home tonight or stay. I'm exhausted. Maybe I'll just drive home tomorrow after play early morning golf and get home. We got to take the dog to the vet tomorrow. Anyhow, so you got to see my setup.
He's going to
is
do
a
some
gazebo.
grocery lists
Like,
in a second.
listen,
He doesn't care.
this
This
is-
is radio.
Yeah, is this on air?
But I'm
He
not
doesn't
allowed to
care.
talk.
Oh.
Yeah, this is on air.
Oh, really?
That's
The
right.
show is in a gazebo outside, like it's a wedding. It's set up like there's a wedding, and there's going to be 6 people left, 7 people.
This is where you excel. You always excel in a situation that's,
But I made tons of money, and I stayed in the I stayed in the
You can't get on the side that he wants you to be on, right? Because didn't you feel like he wanted you to kind of be like, hey, it'll be okay. And then when you say, hey, it'll be okay, he's like, whoa, I don't need your pity or anything.
make
I made
lots
a
of
lot of
money."
Listen, it doesn't matter to me. I'm playing golf 3 days in Ocean City, Maryland. I'm getting paid, staying in a big suite. So I'll be home tomorrow afternoon, or I may drive home tonight. I don't know.
All right. Well,
But anyhow, listen.
it's been a
this
pleasure,
weekend-
but can you do your plugs?
Yes, this weekend I'm in Allentown, Friday and Saturday at Wisecrackers. Wisecrackers, Friday and Saturday.
It's Mohegan
But
Sun, I
next
thought.
week-
Oh, that's...
No, that's next weekend. Next weekend, Thursday through Saturday, I'm on Mohegan Sun.
So this
it's
upcoming
going-
weekend, you're in Allentown,
This weekend I'm in Allentown.
and the
Next weekend,
following
Mohegan Sun.
weekend.
Is Phil in studio?
Yeah.
I am. Hey, Rich.
I'm a big fan of Phil's.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
No, not your comedy. Your taste in watches.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Nice.
I
Nice
appreciate
watch.
that. Thank you. Yeah,
No,
same, man. I admire your taste, too.
Ugh, gross.
Okay,
Do you know
listen,
the other
and I'm-
fella in here?
Tom Brady is here too, Rich.
Do I know Tom?
Hey, Rich.
I think you guys both performed on the show. Bonnie and I did that one time in the place that looked like the inside of a whale. Remember that bar, the piano bar?
Oh,
yeah.
the gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tom too. Oh, they started the show. Hold on. There's like 30 people. All right, I got to go.
Well, thank you for calling in. It's been a real pleasure.
This went
Anything
nowhere. Goodbye.
bothering you physically, ailment-wise?
No, I'm in good shape. Good shape.
All right.
Oh, there's people.
Bye.
He's so happy there's people in the
Oh my
gazebo.
God, it's like a puppy that just suddenly, oh, there's people.
I'm sorry, I missed the very beginning. Is it like a corporate thing that he's doing?
It was a golf tournament
Oh,
for a
okay.
radio station to raise money for hospital.
Oh, okay. Anything that's outside of a club is really nerve-wracking.
I don't like, one time, Rich will do stand-up anywhere. Like one time he booked us or somebody called and he just drags me along with him to this shit. And it was a fair, like
Wow.
rides.
Yeah.
And then,
Carnival.
Yeah.
Like a state fair? Or
like,
just
I don't know I don't think it was that big.
Yeah.
It was
fair.
like,
There's a county fair.
and there was like these huge bands though that were going on. And so, and you were in like a tent, but no, like no walls.
Oh, right. Yeah. Just like a roof.
Yeah. So anybody, and you're in with all like the food vendors and stuff. So people are just like walking by.
Yeah.
And there's like 7 people sitting on benches, but then like, 25 people just walking back and forth. And it's like awful. You have to go up there and, you can hear the band perfectly. So you're just kind of like yelling over this band. And then Rich killed. He had one of the funniest sets I've ever seen him have. Yeah,
that's his ideal.
Was he riffing on the situation?
Yes, he's so good at sort of like making fun of those New Jersey people that were there.
Yeah. People don't realize, because it's often, I guess if you have that special skill or whatever, but generally that's like Mission Impossible for most comedians, and people still watch it and still judge, like, oh, that guy wasn't that funny. Yeah. You're like, there's a helicopter right above me. You're like, yeah, no, I don't know, man. You thought he would riff on the chopper. It's impossible. So nerve-wracking.
Well, I had an agent one time came and saw me on it was like a Tuesday night. There's probably 10 people in there. I actually thought I did well. I wasn't embarrassed at all.
Yeah.
And she kind of was like, hey, see you later. And then a few weeks later, she came on a Saturday night when it was packed. And then she goes, oh my God, you've gotten so much better. Like she couldn't believe. I was like an agent that's in the business, you think they would be able to figure it out. They don't even know.
They still don't know.
I know nothing about figure skating, but if I went and watched someone kind of figure skating and the ice was not frozen, it was just like water, and the person couldn't get off, couldn't skate, right, I wouldn't be like, wow, the person's a really shitty figure skater. You know what I mean? They can't recognize how crazy the situation is. It's so weird.
Well, because I think being funny is a thing that they think you just do in the moment, no matter what because you do see people like Rich that can go in and excel in a situation like that. Where, if to me, doing TV is easy. You got a teleprompter, everything's already been set up.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're going to say. That's where Rich will fall apart.
Oh, okay. Really? What?
Why he can't read?
He can't read. Yeah,
he cannot read. No, because I think that he gets scared that he's not going to be able to stick to the script.
Oh, I see.
It's like it's too confining for him. So.
Yeah.
And now, Tom, you do stand up.
Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah, I did the Toledo, some awful room in Toledo with Rich Vos like a year ago.
You did?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but he was like, "This is the only time I'm going to do this room." And then it closed down like a week later. But a manager tried to fight me there.
It
was quite an experience. This manager I wish I could remember the name. It was like Wisecracker. It was one of those names like that you'll never remember. But I was sick and I wouldn't drink with this manager, and he broke into my condo and was like being really aggressive and pushing me around.
For not drinking?
I think he just wanted to fight somebody, and I was like the only person around. And then he got really nervous that Rich was in the condo. Because he was like, Rich isn't here, is he? And then he just wanted to fight me.
Rich was staying in the condo?
Rich was staying in a hotel.
Oh, okay.
There were no windows in the condo, and Rich was not happy about that.
So Rich wasn't there?
He wasn't in the room, no.
So they were just nervous that the star
they were
of the
like,
show might be there.
I don't want the famous Rich Vos to be upset.
So, but he was like calling you on? He was like, let's
he was
fight?
just like touching me. He was like, so this is such a dumb hang up, but it's such a little comedy club problem to have. But I ordered a chicken sandwich and didn't know that I had to pay for it.
Oh.
And the guy was like, don't worry about it, I got your chicken sandwich. And then the next night he was all drunk and he's like, oh, do you want another chicken sandwich from me? And he was pushing me around. And I was like, I don't give a shit about this place.
Can you imagine the cost of that chicken sandwich for them, for Wisecrackers?
That's the cost is me never working there again.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you took a stand. How did it end?
His friends dragged him out of my condo.
Oh, okay.
I beat the shit out of him. What do you think happened, Phil?
I know that's what I would have done, but
if you've ever stayed in a condo, give us a call at 669-1969. Have you ever had to see one of those? Do they do that for musicians?
What, the chicken sandwich?
Staying in the condo?
Oh, we don't get that. I've only had that once in Seattle. A really nice, what is that, the triple door?
Oh, it was like a beautiful with a pool.
Yeah,
and
it's a gorgeous condo. I stayed there once by accident because the real headliner couldn't stay. It was a disaster. We had the worst show. We had like an attendance of 24 people. It was a terrible, misguided gig. Everyone was angry at us. We ate all this food. That's when I was drinking a lot. I got wasted on stage, had a terrible show, and then stayed in the condo. I felt like I got like $600 worth of.
Do you think people knew you were drunk?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Because I used to get very drunk to go on stage, especially like in the first few years when I was doing stand up. Like, I think everyone did. I don't know. I remember just drinking so much before going on and being actually drunk on stage. And now I look back and I think, did people know? Were they like, why is that girl like?
That's true. Or was I just self-conscious and in my head the whole time?
These headphones are too. I have no idea why they're like.
You're doing
the
great,
loudest
Bonnie.
thing in
I know.
the world.
There's a volume knob to the right.
There isn't. I just called Lewis in to come and change it, and he did nothing.
Listen, your voice is a sonorous song in my ear. Always.
sounds good.
Don't sonorous us. Let's get some calls. 866-969-1969.
Look at her muscles.
I've been going to rowing classes.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm trying not to
still
make a
going
big.
to Chelsea?
What is that?
Trying not to make a big deal out of it, but yeah.
Chelsea.
Well, you're clearly making a big
brought
deal
it up
out of
I guess
it.
that's
immediately.
true.
Want
I
everyone
guess
to
that's true,
know.
Ty. I knew you were thinking it.
I was thinking about it.
Rowing. You do rowing. You like row on the machine and you get off. Do some like other exercises. It's great. It's really good. It's good. What's that? No, it's in a
Quite
class.
description.
It's a class, and the
He
teacher
sounds
refers to the class as a crew. I feel like I'm part of something for the first time in my life.
Well, I
beautiful.
do rowing, and there's like certain ways you can do it. You can actually improve a lot on rowing. Like I've YouTubed some rowers.
Yeah. Oh, did you do rowing at the gym?
Yes.
Oh, see, it's a great exercise.
Yeah, I do see.
Okay.
Wait, you Googled stationary
It is.
rowers?
Yeah.
Or
there's a
you Google.
technique.
Oh, I want to know because there is a
I can
rowing
show you a couple
machine.
things.
Like it's a certain timing of like when you go all the way back and then all the way forward, and I don't know.
How much time are you supposed to row for?
Great question, Tom.
I can only do it for like 6 minutes.
I do. It's like 50 minutes classes, but they break it up a little bit.
What?
Yeah.
A whole class of
Yeah.
rowers?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, remember when spinning took, like before Soul Cycle, which by the way seems super creepy and cultish to me. I don't know if anybody does it, but remember when there was just spinning classes and everyone was like, nobody's going to take this, a room full of stationary bikes. And now it's like a huge, it's $1 billion industry. I just made that up. But,
Really?
I saw you stumble. Billion. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say it.
That's what I heard.
Where have you been lately?
I've been in Denver 2 weekends in a row.
Why?
No, one
Why
weekend
two?
because I played the Comedy Works, and then I went back last weekend. I just got home. I played a corporate outside of Denver.
You didn't try to make those work together?
No, I had a week in between back in New York. No, it just didn't. They were like dates or whatever.
Are you on the road a lot?
I'm on the road a ton now. Yeah.
Now, you used to be, am I allowed to talk about anything? You used to be a high-priced fashion model.
That's how we both started.
Yeah.
You say it, Bonnie. I was like,
Yeah, because that kind of sounds like Rent Boy.
I'm sure you did a little of that, too.
we got by.
Come on, let's get it all out
No,
there.
I did do that. Yeah, I was a model like a long time ago. Yeah.
And you don't want to like...
Yeah.
First of all, where did you grow up?
Oshawa,
Vancouver?
Ontario.
Oh.
But then I moved, I started comedy in Vancouver. My family lives in Vancouver, so it kind of feels like my hometown now.
Right, and then, okay, yeah, because you have a Western Canadian accent.
Oh, do I really?
Does Bonnie have an Eastern one?
No, I grew up in Western Canada.
Yeah. You grew up in Calgary, right?
No, I grew up pretty far north.
Oh, but Alberta?
In Alberta, yeah.
Okay.
It's on the border of Alberta and Saskatchewan.
But you also started comedy in Vancouver.
I did.
Oh,
I
cool.
started comedy in Vancouver. Okay. And so at a place called Punchline, which I don't think is there anymore.
No, but I've heard stories about it.
Yeah, it was a great club. I actually started as a hostess
Oh, really?
there. And then my first set was at Yuck Yucks.
Oh, and that was that was like the old location at like, I forget what it is, but yeah. I think I was there once.
Waterfront or something?
Yeah, it was like built up. It was like a weird. So was Brent Butt doing comedy when you started in Vancouver?
He wasn't in Vancouver. He was in Toronto, but I'd heard a lot about him, and then I met him when I went to Toronto.
Oh, okay.
He's a really great guy and very funny.
He's one of the best comedians I've ever seen in my life, and he just stayed in Canada.
I know. He just says, does he have no desire? Does he have no desire to get more Twitter followers?
I think no, like because he's got this like amazing. He's got like the best career in Canada, so I think he's just happy to stay there.
Oh, he's like, I'm a big fish in a small pond.
Well, I just think
Canada's actually the second largest country in the world, so I don't know if we consider that a small pond. Sound effects, Lewis. Okay.
He's just, he just does so well. He had his own show there and he produces movies and stuff. But he's so funny. Brent Butt's so funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
So then who did you come up with? Anybody that I would know?
No, I don't think anyone that came to the States. I mean, like, do you know Graham Clark is?
No.
He's so great.
John
Do you
Doerr.
know Graham Clark?
Yeah.
John Doerr, because he's been doing it longer than me, but he started in Toronto. So I met him and stuff like as I was coming up.
So then you started doing stand-up in Vancouver.
Yes.
Why? That was something you were like, I'm sick of modeling.
No, I lived in Europe.
I am more than just a pretty face, you guys.
I lived in Europe. I modeled in Europe, and then I moved. It wasn't anything
what
that
kind
I
of what
wanted
was that
to do.
world like?
So,
a male model? I don't know if I've ever met a male model.
oh, really?
You have now.
Now you've got two in one room. It's so
Oh
crazy.
my God, it's overwhelming.
So
you're a
weird.
hand model, but
Yeah, it's a trip. It's like it was a trip. I lived in Milan. Like you start, you move, and that's like the bottom. You start at the bottom.
how old were you when you started modeling?
Probably 19.
Oh, so you were old enough that your family wasn't like worried about it.
No, but it was so funny because, but all my friends went to college and stuff, and because I'm really dyslexic, I think my parents were worried, he's just going to be stuck in Oshawa, which is like a little Detroit, basically. And then I had this opportunity, and I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to do it, and my parents were like gung-ho, like, go.
They're like, this is it for you.
Yeah, it
doesn't get any
now
better
or never.
for you. Yeah.
So I did that. I did it for like 4 years. I lived in Milan. That's where you
Did
start.
you make a lot of money?
You do okay. Like like if you stay in Milan, like there was things I could have done to have made more money, but I chose to live in London, so it was like more expensive and there's not as much of a fashion industry thing there.
But it's such a weird thing to suddenly be like, okay, I was just this dude.
Yeah.
Now I've got to put on these fancy clothes.
And the problem was I still felt like that. Like the whole time I was so uncomfortable. And it was right when they started using skinny guys. And this is like before I really filled out. So
Oh, you have filled out now.
And
Thank
this
you.
is pre-rowing. And so I felt really weird. And then all the big muscly guys that had been working out for 10 years were like, why is this really scrawny guy with long hair?
You had long hair.
Yeah, I'll have a
Show that picture.
I'll
So
have a
I know,
picture.
I get it now. I know the thing that you were portraying, that sort of like
Yeah, it was a
little bit heroin chic, maybe.
very it was supposed to look like that. And then I went to Milan, and then I did like fashion shows and stuff like that in Milan. Like you do like I did some big shows, and then Paris and London.
Were you able to save a lot of money doing that, or just barely? I mean, it seems like models
you do. Like you
money.
make for how little you do. The last job I did, how people make money is they'll go to like Germany, and there's like you wear like you put on like 500 winter coats in 2 days, and they just like take your picture. And that was like the last job. I had just started doing that, like catalog stuff, and then I moved home and didn't want to do it anymore.
Does that pay
Honestly,
well?
I sometimes think about this, not that I've had any desires to be catalog modeling or anything, but I do think like I hate changing clothes.
Yeah.
And that's all you do as a
it's-
catalog model. Like,
Bonnie, you wake up and you just, honestly, the last job I did was, I'm not exaggerating, it's probably 500 winter coats. And you just stand there, and you put it on, and people
look off to
talk
the-
about you. Yeah, you gotta they want you to mix it up or whatever.
Right, you gotta
And
think
I just wasn't good. Like, I wasn't good. Like, people are good models because they're into it or whatever. And I was just embarrassed the whole time. And I had never gone swimming in public without a shirt on. And all of a sudden I was on a runway, and they were because they were
you just had to do it.
yeah, and it was just horrible.
Well, did you have friends or?
I had.
then,
there
we
were
know now.
a couple. I didn't. There was a couple people that I just kind of met and was friends with. But the first. Do you want me to tell the whole story?
Yes.
Okay. So they bring everyone to Milan. Like anyone could go to
I didn't
Milan.
want Tom to come.
Oh,
So-
really?
Yeah, so this is perfect.
So they bring anyone to Milan, and they make money off your plane ticket. They make money off your accommodations, which the accommodations there was a straw. There was a match. At one point I lifted up the sheet and it was straw. It's so bad. Yeah, the accommodations. And then as you move up, as you get better and make more money and stuff like that, you get better accommodations and stuff.
Oh my God.
But
You're like the baby Jesus. Jesus in the beginning.
Pretty much. And so you start, and the first season of Milan, the best show to do is Armani. Like, that's like the most prestigious show. It pays the most.
I've heard of that.
And they do, like, for the addition of that, they bring in like 200 guys at a time. And you sit in this like weird, there's like a runway down the center, and there's all like the seats, like stadium seating or whatever. And Armani, and he's got this like posse of like guys. They sit and you walk, and then he'll tell you to like take off your shirt or put on a suit jacket or whatever.
Oh, this is the audition?
Yeah, this is the audition. This is the audition for the show. And they bring in, they bring in so many guys, and you sit and everyone watches each other or whatever.
Oh my God.
And
it's
I
like
remember
American Idol.
Yeah, it's yeah, only without the talent. And I remember at one point a guy went, and they told him to take off his shirt, and he was like kind of like chunky, and everyone laughed at it. Like, it was so.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
like when he took
brutal.
off his shirt, people just started snickering.
Yeah, like Armani and his boys laughed, and then all the models laughed. Like, it's just so cruel.
Oh my God.
I remember one guy went up.
This industry.
There was one guy that went up and just like he like walked for Armani, and then did like a backflip, and then like high-fived everyone and just left. Like, all he wanted to do was, like, it was so weird. And so I did that, and then so I booked the first season of Milan. I booked this Armani show.
Wow.
So you have to go in and you do the fitting or whatever. And I'm walking down. It's where he lives. It's like this like fashion compound or whatever. So I go through that weird audition thing. Then I'm walking downstairs, and you have your clothes. It's a rack of like 6 outfits or whatever you're going to wear in the show, and then like your headshot or whatever. And I see my rack with my headshot, and they have a dresser, like this young girl who's going to help you dress. And I see, and I'm like walking towards it. I'm like, these clothes are not going to fit. Like, these clothes are so big. And they were like a mesh tank top and like a suit jacket. Like, it was really bad. And I put them on, and I was just like swimming in them. Like, it was so humiliating. I'm backstage. I'm like swimming in the thing. And I say to this like nice little like dresser or whatever, I'm like, I can't, this clothes are not going to fit me. I can't go up. And then she's like on the walkie talkie. She's like, oh, Mr. Armani wants to see you in person. I'm like, oh my God. It was so brutal. So I had to walk again down the runway where I auditioned. This time it's not filled with models. It's just like Armani and his like posse. And as soon as I turned the corner to walk down the runway, I could hear them like starting to laugh. And then the whole way down, laugh. Yeah, it was so bad because I thought I scored this huge, I went from not wanting to model to be like, oh my God, I could do this. I got this like huge show. It's like you make a lot of money and stuff. So that was the first outfit.
And it's prestigious.
It's prestigious, yeah. And you quickly feel some level of competition or whatever, because you're going to these auditions for like 10 hours a day.
You don't want to fail.
Yeah, exactly. And so the clothes didn't fit. They like laughed. Like, I remember even the sunglasses felt big
for that, and they had to have known
because I guess
the years in the business of just eyeballing people.
The jacket that I tried on in the audition like fit, and then when I did the first outfit, but it gets worse. So I do the first outfit, and honestly, I can picture it. It was a suit with no collar because they just run out of ideas, right? So they're like, the season, let's just no buttons this season. So this was like no collar. Like, it's so, when you see that side of the fashion industry, you're like, this is so lame. So I did that, and I'm like holding the pants walking down the runway. So humiliating. Then I get back, and I say to this nice girl again, and she's like a teenager or like 20. She's like a fashion student in Italy. And I'm like, all right, well, that was like the worst. Like, I'm like, okay, so now I go or whatever. And then she's on the walkie-talkie. Mr. Armani wants to see outfit 2. And I'm like, are you serious? And I had to do that 6 times. And the final outfit was just like this like oversized like bathing suit. It was just the worst.
Oh my God.
It was so bad. So I go back to the worst accommodations ever where they had us. Straw bed. Not only that. Not only that, there was like a gypsy family that lived upstairs. And
I wish though that you'd been like moved into the nicer quarters and then
and then had to pack.
And then back down to the straw.
But so you're in the and the accommodations were so bad that you'd be there was like you'd be on the phone, like talking to my mom. There was like one phone in the whole building. It was like a payphone. And this woman would bring a dog from the top all the way down to the bottom, and she would just yell. All she could say in English was "mad dog," and then she'd bring this this German Shepherd that was just like vicious, like down. It was so brutal. It was like prison. Anyway, so by the time I got back to the accommodations, they'd already booked somebody, and that was it.
This is like a warped Fellini film.
Yeah.
Mad dog.
Yeah, mad dog. She'd just be like, mad dog. And then she's like, just crazy dog.
So you didn't even get paid for that, or you did?
No, I didn't get anything. But
all
then
that clothes changing.
All that clothes. And then I went back and I ended up working for him. That was like someone that I worked for a lot after that. But that was like the worst experience of my life.
So he did hire you?
He did hire me, like the next year.
It's like hazing in fraternities.
Oh, it was crazy. There'd be like fights. Like they would line up. They'd like pack in like 150 models waiting to see like Versace or whoever. And they would be like, there were like scraps. They were like, it was just crazy. Yeah. Totally.
So did you think of yourself as a good-looking guy?
No.
Beforehand?
No, not at all.
And then how did you get discovered?
I had a friend and she was a model and she was like successful and stuff. And she suggested, she was home and did like a photo shoot in Toronto and was like, I drove her. I just happened to meet like a photographer in Toronto and then he took pictures and then we sent them and that's how it happened.
Wow. And then, so then once you were sort of anointed model guy, did you start thinking of yourself as a good looking guy?
No, not really, because you're around actual good looking guys. Like you're around like guys that are like Adonis type looking guys.
Right.
And so I never thought that. And I never told my friends at home that I was a model.
What did they think you were doing?
They just thought I was like in England, like traveling and stuff like that. And then years later, I'd probably modeled for like 2 years. I did this like crazy photo shoot. It was in Niagara Falls, like in one of those like corny, like cheesy hotels or whatever. And, it was for a fashion magazine, but the fashion magazine didn't run it. So they sold it to like this like gay, this like gay magazine. And so I never told my friends that I was a model. And then years later, my friend who had a like gay brother had this like magazine.
Oh, he had a gay brother.
That's how he
my
found
brother's
out.
magazine I was looking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there was, that was quite a sultry photo shoot of me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I think I have pictures on my phone.
You do?
On your phone? You know you have pictures on your phone.
I don't know if I know because they're on my. I just got a new phone. How dare you, Tom?
You know what pictures you have on your phone.
It's true. You do.
Tom seems a little jealous of the whole
I know,
modeling
he
thing.
really
Right?
wants
You're
to
over
see
here
those
trying to make me
pictures.
feel bad for male models. Fuck you, Phil.
That's just my experience. I don't think I was ever really. You know what I mean? I did it, but I wasn't. You know.
You didn't commit yourself to the life. When did you decide you wanted to be a comedian?
I did a commercial in like right at the end of modeling. I did a commercial, like a car commercial, and it was like fun and stuff like that. So I'd done it. So after that, I did like an improv class, and then I was like, oh, this is fun, just making people laugh. And then I tried stand up.
And then, did you know you were going to be a good joke writer?
No.
Like it wasn't something that you weren't dabbling in writing
Never.
or had any kind of like pithy poetry going on.
No, because I'm dyslexic, so I never wrote anything.
Oh,
I had never done anything. No, never done anything like that.
Is that why you couldn't get in the door when you came in?
No, I was so flustered because I had such a crazy time getting here. That was flustered.
So did I.
Is it not locked?
No.
Oh, really? I don't know.
You just have to push.
I
was
know with
pulling
that
too.
rowing.
Oh, I was pulling. I was pulling
too.
Oh, really? I was so flustered. I'm all sweaty.
So then you started doing stand up, and then how did you get from Vancouver to Los Angeles? You went to LA first, right?
No, I came here first.
Oh, you did.
My goal right before, I used to watch Comedian, like the documentary Comedian. Before I started, I saw that, and my goal was just like, I want to do everything in that movie. Like I just was so blown away by that movie.
That's what got me into.
Really?
Yeah,
it's just so good, right? Mm-hmm. It's like Rocky for comics.
So good.
So that's who we have to blame.
So that's that's why I wanted to come here.
It's so funny watching that now, and you're like, he wrote a whole new hour? Like, that happens all the time now.
Not all the time, though.
I mean, like, I know not everybody, but it's not like this insane thing now.
It's pretty crazy.
It goes in waves because back in the day, you used to believe, like when they were doing the Tonight Show, you used to believe that they were writing so much and doing so much new material all the time, and they were on the Tonight Show 48 times in a row and stuff. But really, they repeated stuff. Mm-hmm. Comics got to repeat stuff
on TV.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes they would do the exact same act again.
So you could do the Tonight Show and do the same 5 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think someone told me about that. Todd Barry said that people wouldn't watch. You could do the Tonight Show and you could do some jokes on Letterman because it wasn't like on YouTube or whatever.
Right. But you could go on the Tonight Show and do the same act again.
Really?
They didn't care. Right. They didn't seem to mind.
Wow.
That's insanity?
Well, also the Tonight Show was an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
So they needed content. So sometimes they would have more than one comedian on also, but they almost always had a comedian on. So when you think like, oh God, those guys, they did the Tonight Show that many times or whatever, that would be like every comedian in, New York was doing it or in LA because they needed content. So It's on like every night.
That changes it because I would always hear that. They'd be like, "Oh, he did the Tonight Show 50 times," and I'm like, 50 times 5 minutes. I'm like, "Oh my god, that guy had 500 minutes of like killer."
Yeah, and they
I
only
think
put out
they
1
were
hour.
still pretty prolific, but I think a lot of them had writers also.
But it's also, like, and Seinfeld talks about it, how like he doesn't necessarily isn't thrilled with like produce a new hour every year because he's like, people want to see your act, like stuff you've worked on for forever.
Well, it is true. I do think it's hard to write a joke. Like comedians who's just recently just had like another hour where you're like, oh my God,
Louis?
Maybe it's Louis.
Besides
It just
Louis,
keeps fucking coming. But he's a genius, so that doesn't count. Somebody bad. Give me a name. No. But for me, it's actually like a really hard process.
I think
to
for
get
most people
jokes that
it
work.
is.
But we tell short jokes, right?
Yeah.
So that changes everything.
Right. So if you're telling a story, I guess it would be a lot easier.
Yeah, you could fill 5 minutes with don't you think? It's like so
absolutely.
much.
No, absolutely. And I even, I think Bill Burr was like, I think every 2 years is like still insane.
It's crazy.
I just meant it's funny that like at that time everybody would like, I remember there's a scene where Ray Romano is like, you're dropping the hour? Like,
Right.
well, you're gonna do like half of it, right? Like he was so didn't get it at all. It's so
I'm still blown. Like
I still watch it like once a year.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna see it when I go home next time. But
What about the extras?
I've watched the extras.
I've heard there's new extras.
There's new extras.
there's new extras.
I don't know.
I love it with Quinn doing the commentary. It's
I didn't
so
see the
funny.
extras.
Quinn's my
Oh,
favorite
really?
part of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's really good. But
I don't like him.
Bonnie, as someone who writes short jokes, could you possibly write an hour in a year?
Never.
Like
I mean, the weird thing is that I write for other people, so I do write I basically just wrote an hour for someone.
You write jokes for other people?
Yes.
Really?
Dude.
But
Can I say?
No, don't say who it is. But but the thing is that there's, I guess, because I don't test them out.
Yeah.
I just, I just give them I just write the jokes. So then that's on them to like work through that. Through those jokes. Whereas if it's me, like I wouldn't give somebody a joke that I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you just discard so much stuff because it doesn't come up to the level, or you're, this joke sort of makes that joke not work. Or,
Yeah.
You have all these like little rules and stuff for your own act.
Yeah. Oh, like I'm like trying to accumulate material, and you'll have a joke where I'm like, that's not even B material. It's like A-, but it still sucks. I'm still bummed because it's like works so well, and then you get one that's kind of like Peter's. You know what I mean? And you're just like, well, fuck, what do I do with that? I don't want A-.
Right.
So
well, but the thing is, I think that it is important. It is important to have like different levels going on. You don't want every joke.
Yeah, I guess.
You gotta give them a break. I like to give them a little break from laughing now and again.
So, if you wrote an hour for someone else, how long did it take you?
Well, I charged for 6 days, but it actually takes a really long time because you don't just sit down and write for 8 hours a day.
I make a lot of tea and pace.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've done it before for other people too. It's like, it's a different thing. You have to get inside their head. You have to
Do they give you direction? Like, this is the content that I'm...
Some people do. Like, once I got an act and then I had to fill it out. Like, there was holes in it or whatever. So I knew what the topics were.
Wow,
but for
this
this
is
other person, I got
fascinating.
nothing. No.
So, Bonnie, you started, how many jokes is that did you write for the hour?
So that was 9 pages.
9 pages.
So I don't know how many jokes that is, actually.
Okay.
I don't know that it's an hour, to be honest with you, but I just guess it's about an hour.
Wow. And there was no guidelines? They were just like, right.
Well, there were some guidelines, but I don't want to say because I'll give it away.
Right.
Oh, really?
You wrote that 9/11
I think
thing
the people
for
that I
Steve
write for,
Rannazzisi.
they don't want to know that they have writers.
Yeah.
They probably want to go through life like accepting all the praise for themselves.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Wow. But to sit down and pump out 9 pages of jokes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there must be what? Like 12 jokes on a page or no?
Yeah, something like that probably.
Wow. Because
Yeah.
I've submitted like packaged like monologue jokes or whatever. And it's just,
Well, this is a little harder, not that it's a little harder than monologue jokes, but it's different because you're trying to write stand-up.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I
it's
think
not
it would
just
be
like,
harder.
here's like 90% of Americans say that, and
Yeah.
then you get to write the little thing.
Yeah.
It's like you got to try to come up with, like, I try to come up with some concept that's going to have legs. Like it's going to produce like 5 or 6 jokes on that topic that can sort of, you know, you can imagine it being conversational.
Okay. Wow, that's really interesting.
And then, but for myself, when I write jokes, it's a much, obviously, slower process. It's like, I do think I write jokes much faster. Like I have a backlog and then I can never get on stage enough to keep up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause it takes so long for me to get that. Like sometimes if I just stick with a joke and I just do it like 10 times, it'll just start to work. It'll just start to work no matter what. But sometimes I don't have it in me to get the timing right or something. If it doesn't work right away, I just give up.
I do that too. And I see some people who just work, like they start and I'm like, that's not even a great premise. And they just stick with it and they're adding this little bit and adding that little bit. And then
I know that comedian.
2 months later, it's like this killer bit. And you're like, I cannot believe.
Oh my God. I do that all the time. I go, in my head when I watch, I go, ooh, false premise.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. And then,
they just like work it. And
I watched Chris Rock once. I guess he was putting together one of his specials, but I'd been coming back and forth from New York to LA. I was still living in LA at the time. So this was a while ago. And, I happened to see him over the course of whatever it was, 3 months. From the very beginning where it was just on like the yellow notepad.
Yeah.
He would just flip through it on stage. That's when I first saw him doing all the jokes. And then, you know, a few weeks later I saw him in LA do it. And then I managed to see him again when I got back to New York. And just, I feel like I went to comedy school.
Yes.
Just watching that progression.
Yeah.
And which jokes he chose to keep and, you know.
Yeah.
Because there were some really brilliant bits that did not make it into the special.
I do that.
Like, I asked him about that. He goes, "You can't put everything in." I was like, "I would. I would have to."
I've done the same thing watching Chris Rock, and I've done that with watching like Louis develop stuff.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating. You're just like, oh my goodness, how?
Yeah.
You know.
I was with Nikki during the week where she found out she got the roast, and she was going around to all the clubs doing all the just trying out jokes. I can't say that.
No. I don't
Okay.
think so.
But it was so cool just to see like what she had like 30 amazing jokes. And then I just watched her do like 10 sets and figure out which jokes would work. And then I happened to be in LA during the roast. So I
cool.
got to go and then like to see the final thing, it was so different from the sets that I had been watching all week that were just like 48 hours prior. I was like, wait, how did that happen?
I think what happens with roast jokes too is that you just start off with this like pile of jokes, and so you just go through them and you try them, but then you have to like kind of build, then the next person build. So probably at the end you really do make major changes because there you see where the holes are. Like once you get it into
what other people on the dais are talking about, then they edit you. So there's so many different factors in it.
Right. Like how long did she do? You were there.
I think it was probably, it felt like 10 minutes, maybe less,
Yeah, so
right?
They cut it down to like 4 or 5, probably.
Yeah, they probably edited it down to 4.
Yeah, maybe it was like 7 minutes or something, but she killed.
course.
It was painful to watch Ann Coulter. I didn't get to watch the final roast. Did you guys see it?
No.
No.
I'm
I
gonna
just
try
watched
to watch
Coulter.
it. No, I didn't. I don't know how to. I don't have like a regular. I have like TV, but I don't know how it
You're
works.
like me.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
did
musician.
watch it.
I don't even have a CD player or any good stereo system.
I want to
or
watch it. I
anything.
tried to watch it. I just got irritated. There was like clips, and I watched a couple. I was like, no, I want to watch the whole thing from the beginning to the end. So I
Yeah.
definitely will watch it. I just haven't had an opportunity.
I watched it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, Ann Coulter looks insane the whole time. Did you watch it?
Why?
It
I
looks
don't
so
understand
weird.
why she didn't laugh.
Because
like,
she's
it
a
just
psycho.
is. But I also felt like she shouldn't have been on the roast. It's
Well,
like
yeah.
you don't roast people you hate. That's
Yeah,
sort of
it
a
seems-
thing.
yeah.
Like,
She has
you
a
just-
Comedy Central credit now.
I know. I don't know why they put her on. I don't know. It's weird. Like
Why would she agree
because
to do
I
that?
think they wanted someone that would be easy to roast because there's so many beautiful people on that roast. I guess I don't know, or like. You know, what are you
Yeah.
going to say about people? Oh, he's so good looking.
Uh-huh.
They just keep going back to like, I think he's gay, which also seems
Trouble.
so old fashioned.
Oh, yeah, that is old school.
It just was like, every time there was like that joke, I was like, clunk. But then with her, people were like, die and stuff, which would have been funny, except that it was, you do want her to die.
Yeah.
So you're like,
It's just like annoying that she gets a microphone. Because that's the thing, she still gets to talk, like, for part of it. It was just, it would have been great if they just edited her whole part out.
I just feel bad. I told my friend I felt bad for her, and she was like, she's awful. Don't feel bad for her. And I was like, I don't want to feel bad for her. I'm sure she can handle it. It's fine. I just don't want to feel uncomfortable while I'm watching the roast.
Have you met her? She used to come to the cellar all the time.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, so she really knows. Is she pals with these people?
I don't know if she's pals, but she's like a comedy fan.
She's always around. I met her once. She seemed very nice.
Yeah, I met her once. Yeah. She's like a Grateful Dead fan. We talked about the Dead.
She is?
Yeah, she's dead. Goes like a huge Dead fan.
Oh, I
Been
think
going
I
to shows since the
remember hearing
80s.
that.
Yeah.
That's
confusing.
proof she doesn't believe, like, any of the shit she says.
You know what? That was like, like, I don't know if it's just like a character or.
Could you imagine having to do that your whole life? I mean, I just don't even think that's possible.
Yeah,
I've heard
you're
that
right.
theory about a lot of people, but
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know, but I think she definitely has. I'm sure she's got to like turn it on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I met her, she just seemed like just a normal, like if you had never seen her on TV, you'd just be like, oh, she's a normal. And if someone's like, oh, she's into broadcasting, you're like, oh, cool. Like,
right.
She certainly didn't say anything that like
she
would
has
be offensive.
actually a very lovely energy when you just meet her in person.
Yeah, even
She
her
loves
energy.
comedy.
Yeah.
That's why I found it kind of shocking too, because she does hang out at the Comedy Cellar a lot and stuff, that, she wouldn't just be laughing. Like, she wouldn't know. It's like, you know this world more than a lot of people. You should. I don't know why she didn't just laugh that whole time. I think she was shocked by how brutal.
But don't you think that could have lend itself to maybe that part of it as a character? That she would sit and not laugh or not, you know what I mean?
I heard Jeff Ross talking about it, and he said that he kept telling her to laugh.
Oh, really?
And I did hear her at one point, like her mic was on, and she goes, I did laugh at that to him. I never say that
to be fair, she has a lot of Botox, so it's hard to tell.
You think?
I think she was like cracking us. She was like doing this like grin, like nod,
But she
grin.
made comments about it afterwards, though, too.
Like it wasn't
did?
funny
Yeah.
and stuff. Well, I mean, it was so brutal towards her, though.
Yeah.
It was like,
she didn't take any of the writers, or I heard she turned down a bunch of the writers' jokes.
Yeah, I heard that
well,
too.
that's the thing,
It
too.
was
That was
obvious.
also a mistake, was to make it political, for her to be like, promoting Trump and trying
I
to
feel like
take down Hillary. It's like, Hillary's not here. Let's just stick to the...
Isn't that the whole
dais.
reason she came on, though, was to promote her book or
Yeah,
whatever?
I mean, you would promote your... If she was funny, if she had have looked like a sport, she probably would have done herself more good in promoting that book. I don't know. Yeah. I find it fascinating that Republicans read so much. They all have 7 or 8 books. It's crazy. Who's Bill Maher? Who's the liberal that has sold that many books?
Yeah, they have a lot of books.
They read.
Yeah.
I don't know if they read them, but they do buy them.
They do put them out.
Yeah.
There are so many liberal books.
Are there?
We don't read them.
We just don't read them.
We don't support.
No, but I think that conservative views might lend itself more to writing a book about it.
Why is that?
This is going to be hard for me to say. I don't know, but like, just say like, what's his name? Rush.
Limbaugh?
Yeah. Cause a lot of his claims are so outrageous that I think it would be, oh God, like it's like more
like you think like somebody who's a Democrat it's just like, well, yeah, of course. Why is anyone writing this down? This is what we all think.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas if you're going to write something that, Obama was born here and this is what actually happened, there's like a conspiracy kind of element to it, more so than.
It's exciting.
Yeah. It's more exciting than,
Well, I just
reasonable.
don't think he's right for the candidacy.
I bet they're like those like old late night sets, though. I bet they can just repeat material in those books. And people don't even
they're not coming up with any ideas.
It's just like mostly fart noises.
I think so.
It says it.
So, Tom, tell us your story. We've got about 4.5 minutes.
I feel very welcomed.
Have we met before?
We have, like, briefly. Not really, yeah.
Where at?
At the Stand, I think, and then something else with Nikki,
Did you compliment me?
I did.
Oh, then I should remember you.
I'm a big fan. I watched the documentary. I loved it.
See?
Oh, thank you.
You can get Women Aren't Funny on iTunes. Rich wants me to say this. On iTunes, you can buy or rent Bonnie and Rich's documentary, Women Aren't Funny. Do it now. Go on, Tom.
It's pretty funny. Not the
yeah,
women, the men part in it. There's a lot of good men in it.
Right. I'm from Indiana, came through Chicago and moved here a year ago.
What do your parents
That's my
do?
story. Well, my dad's dead. Thank you for bringing it up. And my mom's a nurse practitioner.
She killed your father?
Yeah, she did. I actually this is so weird to bring up in like the last minute. I was just looking at, because I had never met my dad, and I looked him up the other day. I like Googled his name because I was working on something, and there's a YouTube video of like, in the early 90s, like the news, the opening stories about him, because he was like this illegal abortion doctor who like,
oh my gosh,
wow,
he had like a scandalous
he had like a
weird
book.
Sex scandal where he like, yeah, it's a lot, but it's so weird to like see that and then see an
sex
ad.
Scandal?
Yeah,
okay,
he was like a bad guy.
Let's hold this story for when we come back
No,
from
let's
break.
hear more about Bill's
you
modeling
play a
career.
song out to break.
Oh, okay. Play us a
Anya
song
Marina,
out to break.
who has a new
Are you
single
gonna play a
out.
song?
Yeah, I'll
that's
just do.
exciting.
How do they get your single, first of all, Tethered to the Dark?
You can get it on iTunes or Amazon. Just search Anya Marina, and it's brand new. I'm going on tour with Eric Hutchinson on the West Coast. So if
Do we
you're,
know who that does anyone?
I know who Eric Hutchinson is.
there you go. He's a big deal.
Yeah, a personal friend.
If
Whoa.
you're anywhere between Seattle
And
and
when you were modeling?
Seattle and
We did a little
Tucson,
runway work together.
we're gonna be in your city. So Eric and I wrote this song together. It's called Ordinary Dude, and you can just enjoy parts of it.
Why only parts?
Because aren't we fading to commercial?
No, we got some time. How long is the song? You can do the whole thing.
Do the whole song.
There's a man pacing outside in the thick of a fight. Think tonight is the night, alright. He throws caution to the sky. This is his life. What's it gonna be? Fight or flight? Oh, the road is tried and true. Running from the rules. Now you're asking me if I approve. You know I do. I love you too. You know I do. You're not some formula that I set out to prove. You're on my side. You're not uptight. I can't lose. You're not some ordinary dude. Ooh, let's try. Ooh, to survive it, oh, the road to lonely land. Living all I can. Now you're asking me to understand. You know I do. I love you too. You know I do. I just realized this is for Bonnie and Rich. This is like if someone's like wondering if you're cheating all the time.
Oh.
Because you're on the road. You're not some formula that I set out to prove. You're on my side. You're not uptight. I can't lose. You're not some ordinary. Are you gonna make me proud? Are you gonna stick around? 'Cause I've given everything to make me normal. Who do you think you are? Knowing I've come this far, I'm not giving up until I live it up. All the road divides ahead. Stick together or we're dead. Now you're asking if I have regrets. You know I do. I love you too. You know I do. You're not some formula that I set out to prove. You're on my side. You're not uptight. I can't lose. McFarlane on the air, not really paying attention, looking at a phone. Check her out, Bonnie McFarlane on Twitter. Check out Rich at Rich Voss, just one S.
Well, let's do some plugs, because I got to plug this Cornelia Street Cafe in New York City this Saturday. So you have to come. That's not a choice. You have to come. So if you heard it, it's like The Ring. If you don't get tickets, you will die.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Threatening.
Sorry. A lot of people tweeted pictures of rowers and rowing machines.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
Any plugs, guys?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, right now?
Yeah. Do you have anything to plug?
Oh, yeah. I mean, where to start?
Phil and I used to do a podcast together called We Know Nothing. You can check out about 100 episodes of that. Phil and I are both the disgruntled characters, and Sam Morril is the really loud and annoying one on like 40 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
He didn't seem annoying. Oh, he wasn't there when I was there.
I'm just kidding. I love him dearly. He's a dear friend.
I'm on the fence about him.
Phil, you were there, right? When I was there?
Yeah, you were great.
And thank you. And then wasn't there someone else there?
Sam, Nikki, maybe?
No.
Sam, you'd know if Sam was there.
Sam was not there.
Oh, really?
That's weird. Was it just, Ryan Hamilton, maybe?
No, I don't think Ryan ever did it.
Lisa Traeger?
I think Ryan went. Did he not?
I think it was
Tom. Zip it. Sorry. I'm taking a cue from the modeling world.
Oh, okay. You're welcome.
We're going to bully Tom.
Tom Brady has a podcast.
You're gonna make me put on a
it's very
coat.
funny. Called Girls
Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it called Girls Night?
It's supposed to be like a fun, like kind of campy vibe, you know? Like a girls' night.
Is that how you think girls are?
Yeah, I know how women
Campy?
are. Oh, I'll tell you about women.
Oh, Tom. What kind of stand-up? Have I ever seen you do stand-up?
No, you haven't. I talk about my dead dad, and I talk about my,
Let's talk about your dead dad now. So when did he die?
Fiance.
Ex-fiance.
Oh, I was like, you got engaged?
I talk about it all, baby.
Well, we got to go. Well, first we'll start with the dead dad, then we'll go to the dead to you fiance. How long ago did your father pass away?
Like 4 years ago.
Okay. So you're not going to cry? If we go
I would
this.
never cry.
Oh, that's
Tears
you've
of
never
joy.
done it. Oh,
we got ice water in these veins.
Okay, so you lived with your father?
I live with my mom. I've never met my father.
You didn't? Okay.
I never met him, so it's all, yeah.
Oh,
he bailed when I was like 2.
So how did you find out that he passed away then?
I found out he died like 4 months after he died, because, so I got a call basically that there was an inheritance. I just realized
the irony of an abortion doctor never seeing his son.
Yeah. He tried to abort me, and I dodged it, you know. So
now are you pro-choice or pro-life?
I'm pro-choice.
You
definitely.
still?
I don't give a shit.
Even after all that.
If they can make it through, they'll become marginal comedians.
Marginal.
I didn't know where to put you yet.
Sure. I'm very good.
It clearly is.
Basket of deplorables. Who's going to use that for their next special?
Yeah.
That is a good one. That's like Binders of Women.
But like how did she just whip that off? Did that just come out of her mouth, or that was written for her to say?
It seemed like it was written because she said it like she just steamed into it.
But who would say, you know what you should say?
Yeah.
Basket of deplorables.
I thought it came from a soundbite in one of the interviews.
I think one of her writers is going to kill themselves.
It was a speech.
Whoever wrote that should be put on watch 24 hours. You don't just put that in a speech. Say basket of deplorables.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard basket of Have you ever heard deplorables used as like noun?
It's a band. They were big in the 70s.
What, basket of deplorables?
No, the deplorables.
Oh, the deplorables.
Were they? Because that sounds like it sounds like an 80s punk band.
It was a British punk band.
That song, Walking Pneumonia. I love them.
Anyway, your dead father, Tom.
Some political humor from Tom Brady. Tom A. Brady, if you're looking for him on Twitter.
That's true.
Were you tempted to meet him? Like when you were a kid, were you ever like...
I was like so anti-meeting him, and then like Because he's like he went to prison for a while. He like had some weird stuff with women. So those abortions.
What was the weird
not
stuff
all of
with
them,
women?
Supposedly not all of those abortions were wanted.
No,
so,
no, what?
Yeah.
Oh
so he was a
God.
gynecologist.
So he was a serial killer.
He was basically a serial killer of little babies.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And he so I was the only one. So he got a lot of women pregnant. I was the only one that like lived out of that bunch, I guess. And so I didn't really want to meet him for a while. And then
this is so tragic.
And then
I don't know if I can make this funny.
Did you have bits about this?
Yes.
I don't know yet. We're trying.
Yeah, no, you can't just stand up on stage and be like, my father was
right. I talk about him in like lighter doses. I don't go into this, but this is the My Wife Hates Me show. You know?
You just brought up some of the rapes. You didn't bring up the killing of the babies.
So he had like relationships with some of these women, but also like then he would force abortions on them, supposedly.
They were his patients.
I mean, to be fair, he was very
some
good
of them,
at it.
He was good. He was like an assassin.
He was a talent. He was the top of his class. They were lucky to get his abortions, is what we're trying to say. Buy my album on iTunes. Anyway, Tom.
But yeah, I didn't really want to meet him. And then later on in life, I kind of was just curious, but too late now. And
what do you say to your, I lived.
Yeah. Well, and he like had the option of knowing me as a kid and passed. I mean, he only went to, guess how long he went to jail for?
He passed when you were a fetus. So.
Do what?
He passed on you when you were a fetus. Was he gonna I guess, all right.
Wait, how long?
Guess how long, not to get political, guess how long he was in jail for?
A year?
For 2. It was 2 years. I shouldn't have put it that way. It was
what?
only 2 years. For, what I was watching on the news from YouTube was, that, there was like a scandal between him and his patients where they claimed he put them under and like had sex with them and then aborted the babies. And
what, like in one night?
No,
like he had like relationships. Yeah. He had like relationships with them.
I know, I'm trying to figure it out.
You're right.
There is the morning after pill.
Has he heard of
that
pulling
didn't
out?
exist back then.
So
that's not allowed in India.
Get to practice his passion.
Oh, he was setting it up. I see.
Yes, I have a passion for killing babies.
You never for a moment, though, ever thought
of doing that yourself.
Oh, every day I struggle with it, Phil.
Not just a pretty face. Phil Hanley steps into studio.
Basket of Deplorables, Phil Hanley's new hour-long special on HBO.
Okay, so you just found all this out 4 years ago.
Yes.
And did you storm in and ask your mother why she never told you any of this?
So there was like little hints of it because I had like a dirtbag stepdad, so he would kind of slip
and
things
that mark
in.
On the side of your head.
That's right. Yeah. You noticed. Yeah. So I would get like little
Your will to live. Sorry. I'll stop doing it.
I'd get like little hints about it as a kid, and I started to like piece it together. And then I read a news article about him like about 4 years ago, and then I saw this YouTube thing. But so I already knew about it a little bit, and then 4 years ago I started to put the pieces together. And then my mom like has other stories about him. I don't know. It's weird. She
like what?
Because she dated him, and then she wasn't his patient, so it's like a weird situation. But I guess it's like a tough thing for your mom to sit you down and tell you about your dad like that. So it kind of makes sense to me that I had to figure it out on my own.
What did she tell you? He just wasn't a part of the picture? Your dad left?
Sort of. She was like, he was Indian, and I think like it's a big part of their culture to not like have mixed race children. So that was like part of what I was given, and that he like went back to India for a bit, which wasn't true. He just lived in Georgia, but.
And you grew up in Ohio?
I grew up in Indiana.
Oh,
yeah. So, I just assumed he was in jail forever, and then realized he had been out the whole time, when he died.
Was it like, in any way a buzzkill? Or, I mean, were you bummed out to learn?
I was like psyched when I found out he died, and I didn't really care anyway. I was really like, anti-dad anyway. So I
Right.
didn't really
Okay.
care.
So when you're like watching this news footage or finding out that he was this bad guy, like how does that? I mean, here's the thing: is that here's the thing. You can drink on that, even though Rich Voss isn't here.
will.
Is that you have nothing to do with him. And he has nothing to do with you. He's just some stranger in the world, except that you have part of his DNA.
Right.
So how does it like affect you in that way?
It's weird. I mean, it's weird because I obviously don't feel like that at all. And so I like antagonized him forever. But then there's a part of you that's like, well, that's still a parent. Like, and you see your like friends have a dad and you're like, oh, I wonder what that's like. And, but as far as like the shit that he did and stuff like that, I feel none of that. So I feel like that, doesn't affect me. I don't know.
So when you have a parent that's a bad person, then do you kind of police yourself a little harder than maybe a normal?
I just feel like it's natural. I don't feel like there's any part of me that's like, I can't do that to women. Like,
well, it's not that. I mean, because I think we all do shitty things throughout our lives. You know, I may have lied a time or two or stolen something, let's say. But if my father was in prison for, armed robbery, I might be policing myself a little more on those things.
Sure. So yeah, I had like a lot of like, perfection complexes as a kid where it's like I wanted to be like perfect for my mom and stuff like that. And like I was never going to drink or anything like that because my stepdad was an alcoholic. So it was like I had all these things I didn't want to do. And then you realize like, oh, I'm not that person though. So I feel like around like 22, I think when I started doing comedy, like more, it kind of broke me out of that a little bit. Because you see all the
I don't know why Phil does comedy because he came from an idyllic life, but I get why you do.
He
can't read.
I was in special ed. I was in special ed.
That's right.
More comedians can't read than any other profession.
He had to put on 100 coats one day.
Yeah, it was tough. for him.
Over 2 days. Yeah, and then the next day I did the same thing, Tom.
He got laughed at by Armani and then was like, "This is what I must do
for being too thin.
I must get laughter." Okay, so
Every woman's jealous.
I know. I can't gain weight.
I can't gain a penny.
Rowing's helped, actually. I've gained 5 pounds on the machine.
Really?
Yeah.
Then I'm not doing it. Then I've just stopped.
Just stop exercising. You will lose weight.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to gain weight, but that's whatever. Okay. Wow. Tom, that's crazy.
So then you started doing stand-up. I'm sorry. I just got
No. Yeah.
I'd like to get to the bottom of this.
Stand-up. I feel like that kind of like broke me out of a lot of like thoughts about that. I just, and then it's so funny in stand-up. There's like, well, can you make it funny? like why should I have to? But, but that's like that's always in your brain. Well, you're like, well, that's something. So why isn't I need to make that funny now? And I had to start going to therapy to like realize that I can just feel like a feeling and it doesn't have to be like, I don't have to put pressure on myself about it,
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, how does that
totally
work? I'm trying to figure out how to deal with my feelings. That's what my therapist said that to me the other day. She's like, because I was getting mad at myself about like, I can't get over this one person and I just don't understand. It's so illogical. And she's like, what do you think? That you just like snap your fingers one day and the feelings go away? You're supposed to feel the feeling, go through it, and then eventually over time it passes. But I feel like if something logically doesn't make sense anymore, like this person doesn't want to be with you, just move on. And shouldn't the feelings just shut off? But evidently not.
No. I was doing a thing where I just never thought about it or dealt with it. I was like, well, I just never dealt with it. And so Nikki made me go to therapy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Nikki was like, as my
Nikki
friend.
Glazer.
Yeah, she made me go to therapy. And then it was like, oh, he would always relate things back to that. I'm like, I don't care about that though. Like stuff with my stepdad or my dad. And I was like, I don't care about that.
Oh, so you had a stepdad.
Yeah.
So was he close? Was he a father figure to you? No.
No.
Your mom has terrible taste in men.
She just has bad taste in men, yeah.
This whole set is so funny. He's underplaying it, but it's almost like half of it is about his upbringing and the stepdads and father figures in his life. It's very, very funny. You have made it really, really funny. I've watched you multiple times. You, Phil, Sam are all people that I enjoy And Bonnie. I love catching all
Don't
your
try
stuff.
to just include me at the last minute.
She won't let me watch her either, but she's a great comic. Anyway, Tom. You
no, I
did
didn't mean
make
to. I feel like
lemonade
I
out
made
of
this
lemons.
I feel like I made this like a depressing thing, and I wasn't trying to do that.
But wait, so you went to therapy and you did
I
was
feel
Nikki
like I'm
right?
like doing better. Yeah, it's like helped me a lot in like other parts of my life for that for sure.
Like other parts, like what
Like,
about dating?
right? Yeah,
Does it affect
absolutely.
you in that world?
Yeah, for sure. I was
Do you ever
like
like
kind of
accidentally be like, I want you to get an abortion?
I like force abortions all the time. It's fucked up. And like my buddy Brock Turner the other day was like, I don't know, just kidding.
I was like, wait, this sounds familiar. Lewis is really laughing in the
Thanks,
control
Lewis.
room. I got you too.
God, thank God somebody likes me, Lewis. God damn it.
I can't believe what 6
He's
months.
your new daddy.
He's my new father figure.
Do you feel like children need a father figure? Or is it
I
better
think
to
that
just
it's-
have one good parent?
So I think that if you
question.
have, I don't think you need
Could
it.
one of our many therapists call in?
Oh, there's a caller.
Ooh.
There's a couple callers.
We got a lot. I don't know which one. My friend Lynn is calling in. She says she knows
310.
you,
She's from LA. Or is it 307?
Oh, I know Lynn.
Do
Phil.
307.
Do you know her?
Yes, I know Lynn.
The other one.
No, it's this one.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello! It's my friend Lynn Shawcroft.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
That's not a real
Okay,
accent.
so who's there? Tom's there.
Tom Brady.
Hello.
And
Tom,
on
are you still going on about your therapy?
I'm trying to move on past it.
She has no tolerance for it. She's like, "Ah,
Good God.
let it go.
But it was funny. I was just listening to a radio show, and I don't know if I got it right, but because I'm driving. But Hinckley got released. Is that a thing?
Yeah, the guy that shot, tried to kill Reagan.
And loved Jodie Foster. And then I mixed that up, and I thought that was your father.
Oh, she's
Then they said that
cross-referencing.
he did abortions, and I'm like, oh my God, are they farming out abortions to prisoners? And it got very confusing, so I thought I'd call.
Oh, I'm glad
I'm
I'm
sorry.
glad we got it all straightened out. No, his father was not Hinckley, whatever his first two names are, and his father was an Indian abortion doctor who gave
And
abortions
he was
without
creating
consent.
the supply and demand.
That's right. You nailed it, Lynn. Can you
He was an
plug?
asshole, good businessman.
Can you plug your project? I know you're going to come on the show in a few weeks, but
Oh, I'm too embarrassed. I was just going to say hi.
can I do it?
yes.
Sure. I'm not very good as a plugger.
I'm not very good at it. No, I'm being mean to my. She's my best friend in the
You
whole
can tell
world.
your best friends. You know how you can tell?
What?
She talks a lot like you. Can you guys hear it?
Well, we're both Canadian. We met in Vancouver when I first started doing
really?
stand-up, and then Lynn started doing stand-up, and then
You can reverse that. She sounds a lot like me. And
That. How she says that.
so,
yeah, we've been friends for, I don't want to say how many years, but many.
oh God, 5.
4.5 years. Anyway, so she has just produced, and you've written a lot of that 36-page book. I don't know why I keep having to say it's 36 pages.
I have a number of pages.
But it's the Mitch Hedberg's vinyl collection is coming out. Comedy Central's putting it out.
How cool.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yes. So
November 2nd.
Lynn, of course, is married to Mitch Hedberg.
Lynn, I saw you in that documentary. The Kevin.
Oh
Kevin.
my God.
Kevin Can Wait? That's not a documentary.
Kevin, he does impressions. What's his
He
name?
does
Lynn?
Columbo.
Yes. Yes. Unusual suspects.
I hope he's listening.
Yes. Thank you. You were great in that.
Yes.
What was it called?
I've never watched anything I'm in because I get nervous. It makes me nervous.
I liked
But
you. I wanted
yeah.
more of you.
See?
Well, what's that?
Anya liked you. She says there should have been more of you.
Oh my God, really, Anya? Did I make any sense? Because I
Yeah.
always think after I do something that I went, like, I don't know.
That's what you're doing here tonight. Lynn called our radio show once. I don't know if people remember this or listening, and just talked about the Dyson vacuum. She was so in love with it. And then I went to LA and she came to visit, and she said that she had the Dyson vacuum to bring over to my hotel room, but her boyfriend wouldn't let her bring it over. That's how much she loves it.
It'll change your life.
I've used a Dyson before. They are remarkable.
Tom's father used a Dyson.
Anya!
Dyson makes coat hanger?
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh, so was he like an abortion doctor in quotes?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's open up the first Dyson abortion clinic. Bonnie, you think abortions are killing babies? I call it spending quality time with nice nurses.
Okay.
And
I do think it's killing babies.
What?
I do think it's killing babies, but I also think it's worth it.
it's a good conversation with a nice nurse.
But the thing is, I'm going to just say and let you go. Get a Dyson, it'll change your life. And here's the trick. If you haven't got a lot of money, get the refurbished, and it'll change your life. And I'll be in New York.
She gets no kickback. She does not work for Dyson.
Mitch Hedberg show, and he might even show up.
Oh, the Mitch Hedberg show, which is on the 2nd, right?
What's the Mitch Hedberg show?
At Caroline's Comedy Hour. Well, she's doing this big promotion for the vinyl box set, which is very limited. You should go. I think you can pre-order it now, right, Lynn?
Yeah.
Google it. I don't know how you get it.
You can pre-order it. But also there's other things coming along, like a book. But
later there's a book, but then she's going to do...
How to be a widow. Oh, sorry.
How to be a widow.
I'm the worst widow, but I did get approached by the guys who did the hologram of Tupac.
Oh, that's right.
And just let me tell you, it's just awkward being a widow. But did they put up a hologram of Mitch in front of you? No, they asked me to come down and talk to them about it and see. And they said, because I think his fans would love to see him in Vegas. And then I started. Anyway.
Mitch Hedberg. Like, to force Mitch Hedberg as a hologram to be in Vegas is kind of cruel.
God. They could never do comedians because, like, anything can happen. Anyway, this is off subject. But thank you for talking to me. And, Bonnie, I can't wait to see you.
Can't wait to see you too. So November 2nd, she'll be at Caroline's with a bunch of other fabulous people doing the Mitch Hedberg tribute show on November 2nd,
like
7 p.m. Yeah. Something like that. All right. Lynn, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for calling in.
All right. You guys are really funny. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I wanted to ask her like way more personal questions, but then I was just stopping myself. I just hear Rich Voss's voice in my head. Just
why?
Don't talk. Well, I want to know if she has that syndrome, like widow's syndrome, where if you had a famous husband, or even just any beloved husband,
it's like,
and he passes away,
yeah,
and then there's like that syndrome where you feel guilty for moving on. So you never move on.
Well, she does have a joke where she used to say that people always say, like, he'd want you to move on and get another boyfriend. She said, no, he wouldn't. I know him.
Like, Yoko Ono has never
I can't do her
remarried.
Justice.
Like, don't you think if Yoko Ono remarried, there would be an uproar?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't think
Not
anyone
anymore.
gives a shit at all.
You're just a progressive feminist.
Thank you.
I'm, Lewis, Rich wants you to call him. I don't know why he can't call in himself, but...
What about Nate from Wyoming?
All right.
Has questions for Tom about father stuff.
Oh, okay.
Let's hear it.
Nate, let's...
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi, you're
on.
on.
Kind of half doing a radio.
Hi, Nate.
I love the radio station. Here's the thing, and I wanted to say that just to give a shout out.
So people who are drinking can drink. Yes.
Yep. Here's the thing. I just want to say I understand how it is, and I think it's cool that we've all made it funny that, like, my mom's been married 5 times, and it's like, you know, I think it's cool, you know, because now she just tells me stuff like, you know, I wish I I wish I would have been raped by somebody else. And I think it's cool because we can make fun of it, and I love it. So I love you guys, and thank you for making me feel better.
Awesome.
About myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
You aren't a mistake.
I wasn't paying attention at all to that call. What did he say?
He's a sweet man.
What did he say?
A sweet baby Nate.
I don't think it bears repeating.
Baby Nate. He was supposed to be an abortion?
He was a result of rape.
Oh, God. Why was I just looking at my phone?
I don't know if that's for sure.
What
He
does
said that
interest you, Bonnie?
Was he serious?
What does interest you?
I think his mother was implying that.
Was he talking about food?
Bonnie's a vegan now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I still eat eggs.
She just she announced that to me the other day, and I go, "Oh, so I can't give you Quest bars anymore?" Because occasionally I'll give her a Quest bar.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, those are fine." I'm like, the first ingredient is whey protein.
Okay. I never said I was a vegan. I said I went off dairy. I stopped dairy.
I know. And the first ingredient.
I know, but so, if I was vegan, I could be really strict about it. But just because I went off dairy, that's where you stop eating cheese and milk. You don't make a big deal out of it.
But this has milk in it, these Quest bars, Bonnie.
Well, that's why
so you didn't go off dairy.
They made me fart.
Rich Voss, everybody on the line.
Rich.
Hey.
Rich.
Listen, I just need to. I've done a lot of weird things in this business.
Okay, so we talked to you at the beginning of the show, and then you were just about to go on to 30 people at a gazebo outdoors at a golf course. Right. So what happened?
So it was about, I guess, 30 people ended up, 25, 30 people left from the tournament. I'm in the gazebo.
In the gazebo? What is that, a gazebo with slot machines?
Whatever it's called, a gazebo.
Don't say it again. Just don't say it again.
It's dark. I'm doing the show. It's dark.
There's no light on you?
No, there's no light. I killed like I've never killed at a comedy show. I'm not just saying that a big deal, because this goes down in history as one of the most...
Can I just tell you that Tom Brady just took off his headphones when you said that? I don't know if it was the word killed was a trigger, or he's just never done it himself and he's upset.
Leave the guy alone. I'm sure he's doing something as shitty as I just did this weekend for a weekend gig. But
nice nail. He got you. He's like, I'll do this on a Tuesday, but on a weekend, no way.
So, I'm telling you, but here's the thing.
You're doing this kind of shit on a weekend. Roasted.
That was good. He was a writer for the roast, right?
Phil Hanley's doing this the day after Christmas. Gotcha.
Boxing Day.
I set you up for that.
Here's the thing, though. I had as much fun doing this as I do in a real comedy club, because I got to
If you love what you do.
No, because I got to trash your golf tournament for 25 minutes and trash the situation. And
the situation was there?
Well, see, that's the problem with you. Your problem with you is I just could have experienced the biggest nightmare in my career, and guess what? I turned lemonade into a couple $1,000. Or I turned lemon. I turned lemons.
Don't worry about the words. It's the emotion we're reading into. First of all, after you hung up, I said he'll do great because this is the kind of guy that he is. So don't act like I've been putting you down this whole time. Just half the time.
But it was dark.
It was dark. Let's see.
It was like comedy and hide and go seek all in one.
So, but obviously you had a lot of things to say about the gig while you were standing at the gazebo. But here now, calling in, the only thing you can repeat is that it was dark. Nothing funny to.
Well, I can't repeat the jokes because you weren't here and you wouldn't get them. I'm just saying
it was dark.
It was. Man, it was dark. And It was windy. It was windy because sometimes it's tough when a punchline, you're doing one, and then all of a sudden you hear a big wind come by, or whatever wind does.
A gust?
You know what
blows?
Come on.
You know, it just becomes windy. Okay.
It's amazing to me that your job is just to put words together. That's all you do. That's all anyone ever asks you to do. Just go up there and put words together.
I can only do it on stage. It's hard in the car.
Didn't Gary Gallman once say that it's like you get, when you're on stage, something happens, like you'll say words that people can't even believe you know what they mean. It's almost like you're getting you're channeling someone smart that's already died or something.
You're like a conduit.
On stage, I'm like a savant. But
there you go. It just happened.
Yeah. He doesn't know.
But,
he wouldn't be able to spell it.
Anyhow, I'm going to go get a nice little sandwich, go back to my hotel suite, which is gigantic, and I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m.
Have you ever had to sleep on straw?
Why? Who slept on straw? Phil Henry?
Yeah, I don't want to make.
Henry.
I don't want to make a big deal about it, but yeah.
When he was modeling. When he was modeling.
In Italy.
You know, Phil just did his own. He just starred in a movie in Canada. I hate to break the news to you.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that.
Why have we not mentioned that?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
No, I can talk about it. I just told Rich. We were just chatting, and I told him. Yeah.
We were talking. You might have been chatting. But I don't really fucking. I don't sit around and chat.
Did you have your pinky out like this?
I thought we were chatting.
Lie.
Yeah, we were chatting with tea and biscuits the other day.
Briskets.
Tea and biscuits. You've never had that?
I said tea and biscuits.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He hates me.
I didn't say. I don't. Did she say I hate her?
Yeah.
Not at all.
You know what? A lot of my friends, my friend Susie is always like, "Does Rich hate me? I think he hates me." This is the thing. I can't say to them, he doesn't think about you. So I got to be like, no.
You've never occurred to him.
He's just an asshole. He's a giant.
Bonnie, you can't. When you only have 3 friends, you can't say a lot of my friends. You could say one of my 3 friends.
I have a lot of friends. Anya just asked you, so that's 2.
Okay.
I know for sure she has 4 friends.
Thank you.
Why would I hate Anya? I'm a big fan of Anya.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Bonnie.
You just ask him. I wanted to know. I don't know the answer.
Anyway, Phil Henry's in a movie.
Yes. Are you guys getting any good calls? Is it a good show tonight?
No, not really.
I thought so. Tom Brady uncovered and revealed a lot of skeletons from his past about his criminal father and was vulnerable, really the most vulnerable of all of us.
I brought it. You kidding me?
I mean, Phil was funny.
Phil's antics in the modeling world in Milan.
Phil had to sleep on a slightly uncomfortable bed once, and we heard about it for an hour.
Oh, he did get laughing.
Yeah, he's like, I had to sleep on straw. My father was an abortionist.
Yeah, enough already, Tom.
I found out that he existed 4 days before he died.
Oh.
I thought you said you were getting like some headliners tonight.
Yeah, they canceled.
Oh. Phil is in a movie.
Yep.
He starred in it. How many? Do you have like a lot of lines?
Yeah, it was the lead. I had like 110 pages.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Every scene?
There might have been like 3 scenes it wasn't in.
Wow.
You had to memorize 110 pages.
Yeah, it was insane. And the director, who's great and who he was great, but he made it seem like we could like improvise a lot. But once we shot in Colombia, once we started rolling, it was like, yeah, you had to be kind of verbatim.
Oh my goodness! So you had to audition for this?
No, it was crazy. No, he saw a late night set years ago, like 3 years ago, and contacted me and said, "I want you to be in this movie."
Wow!
And I didn't think anything of it, and then it actually happened.
Wow. It actually happened.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Was there anyone else in the movie that we might know the name of?
Tim Heidecker was in the movie.
Okay, sure.
Oh, Tim is in the movie?
Yeah.
Rich doesn't know who it is.
I don't know who he is.
He played from Tim and Eric. He plays my boss, and then you might know. Do you know the band Anya, the Born Ruffians?
I've heard of them, but I
Okay,
don't know
the
them.
lead singer of that band is in it too.
Wow, cool.
They're Canadian.
Yeah.
Did you have any love scenes or kissing scenes?
That's what my next question was.
Yes.
We're so on.
We're in
Rich,
sync.
I'm going to hang up on you, but
Bye.
Oh, wait.
Rich,
Wait.
I want to tell you one thing before.
I love you.
What did you
want
wanna say?
See you tonight.
Okay, I want to say one thing. Thank you guys for coming in and helping Bonnie out, Tom, Phil, and Anya. And this weekend, if any of you three are in Allentown, I'm at Wisecrackers. Or if next weekend you're in Connecticut, I'm at Mohican Sun. And also, if you're buying anything on Amazon, go to amazon.richvoss.com. Also, my CD 141 IQ is still on iTunes, and my new CD 5 is coming out in a couple of weeks.
What's that about?
It's my fifth. What do you? It's bedtime stories. I'm a fucking comic. What do you think it's about?
I just didn't know why you titled
She's a
it
singer-songwriter, Rich. Cut her some slack.
Rich Voss. Today's the day.
Rich, I want to tell you one thing before I let you go.
Oh, she hung up.
I got him! Boom! Roasted! What is the name of the movie, Phil?
Sundowners.
Sundowners.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
It's going to be in festivals?
Yeah, we submitted it, and then, we just wait and see.
What is the budget of this movie, do you think? Do you have any idea?
I just read...
1.5.
I'm going to go 1.8.
They just did an article about the director whose name is Pavan Mundi. They just
Pavan Mundi?
Yeah. They just did, I think it's like an independent film. I think it's like $1 million or something like that.
Okay.
They didn't say specifically.
1.5.
$1 million used to be like a lot of money. Now it's nothing.
Not for me. Yeah, it's not a lot of money for me.
Nothing.
When, like that, where you can win $1 million on stuff, I'm always like, it's not.
Why bother?
Yeah. Is that going to change my life? I don't think so.
No.
Do you do lottery or?
No.
What do you call the scratch things?
Scratch offs.
Oh, you call them scratch offs. I call them scratch and wins, and Rich was like, that is the most ridiculous thing.
I think that's Canadian,
right?
Scratch and wins, yeah.
We put everything in a little positive spin.
Yeah. Yeah, we really do.
I call them lottery tickets.
Ooh,
that's not wrong.
Those are different,
very
though,
negative.
because lottery tickets are like you pick the numbers, and then scratchers are scratchers.
Oh.
Now you call them scratchers?
I didn't until just now.
Oh, really?
I made a choice.
That. Okay.
You're like, I don't feel like going through.
Yeah, that's too
with
much.
The
for
second
me.
word.
I think that is Canadian though. Scratch and wins.
Yeah, I'm always like, you gonna go get your scratch and wins, and he like hits me every time.
Oh, does Rich play a lot of those?
Yes, he's totally addicted.
Really? Mm-hmm. I did when I was in high school or something like that, but I don't think it's a good thing. Like,
well, he's actually addicted to the lottery.
Oh, okay.
Like he plays the numbers, whatever.
Yeah.
So like, he's always like, yeah, your birthday won me $500 or your birthday won me,
Oh, does he actually win?
I mean, that's how much he plays, that he wins sometimes. So God, that means he must play a lot.
Yeah.
I think he plays twice a day.
Are you in charge? Do you know
really?
About the spending?
I don't ask him how much he spends.
That's smart.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't,
We lost the house, but
he doesn't do hookers anymore. So, we don't. I think one of the keys of marriage, and no, I'm the only one married here, so no one can say that I'm wrong. Is separate bank accounts. Like I can't imagine. Like we do have a shared business account where whatever we save money, but I can't imagine having to buy boots or something and then have him see that the money came out. It's like,
and having to justify it or whatever. That would drive me crazy.
Yes, it's so nuts.
I've had that with girlfriends before. I'll make like a big purchase and then they'll be like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, so I got to be weird every time I'm."
They ask you?
Yeah, they're just like a little weird about it.
Oh. But did you really need that much pancake mix? I mean, come on! He spends his money. I have no idea. How much money he has.
Really?
No clue. I know how much we have in our savings.
Do you talk about, you guys must tell each other what you make like gigs, right? Like if you're like, oh, I have a great gig coming up, this is what it pays?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But he just did.
Yeah.
Let's say
the casino.
I mean, I don't ask him every time what he makes or anything. I know approximately. I know what he will leave town for. So I have an approximate idea. And
But I would just think, because I know comics, I will always tell each other what we're making, or often we talk money. So that 2 comics plus you're married, I thought that would just be, you definitely.
That's all we talk about?
Well, it would come up.
It does come up.
Do you have to split money with him, like when you make a lot of money?
He makes me give him money for taxes, which drives me nuts. I mean, I just
for every gig.
Yeah. Well, no, but like say the book money, like big.
Right.
When I get big checks, and I have to give him a third of it. I just think that's too much
for taxes.
For taxes.
Well, that's smart though, right? He's sort of like making sure that you have the money for when tax time comes around.
Yes.
I see. So it's not like he's spending it.
Oh, no. He's very responsible. It's like,
that is
I don't know. I mean, he might just be taking it and gambling.
Getting scratchies.
I don't know. But, yeah, he's definitely not
smart.
Not well in terms of his brain. Did I tell you what happened?
No.
I talked about this last week on the show, so I'll try to keep it brief. But he bought pepper spray because he's always like getting ready for end of times. He keeps his, he has a prescription for anxiety medication, which he doesn't use, but God. He keeps it for end of times. And, and then,
so cute.
And he's got like all these backpacks and everything ready to go with like, water making kits and blankets. That's and those, smart. Those silver blankets. He's like ready to go if Armageddon happens. And, but so he gave me pepper spray and I was like, I don't want pepper spray. And he was like, you got to take it. You got to use it, And then, I heard him tell me at one point, just during the course of the day, that he goes, it's very, very, the guy told me it's really sensitive. So don't mess around with it at all. And then I was in the shower and I started coughing while I was in the shower.
Oh my God.
And I came out of the shower and I was like, this is crazy. And then Raina started coughing. I could hear her downstairs coughing. And I was thinking she's been at school 2 days. She's already brought home a cold. Then I hear Rich coughing. And I'm thinking it's kind of weird, but I go and I get dressed and 5 minutes of me coughing, Rich comes into the bedroom. He goes, I kept saying what is going on with the coughing? And he goes, do you think it might have been the pepper spray? I just sprayed a little in the garbage.
Oh,
yeah. And it's that powerful that the whole house.
Wow.
We had to leave the house, open up all the windows.
Did he feel threatened by the garbage?
What
led to the...
Yeah, I have no idea what he does. I don't understand him. So you're right. He may be gambling away all our money.
I have dated so many men that don't care about me at all that I hear this story and all I hear is, wow, he really cares about you guys. And he made a boo-boo, but that's very sweet. And someday I want to date a guy that prepares Armageddon kits with backpacks and pepper spray for me. That just shows he's such a dad. He really cares about you. You married a good guy.
Oh my God. Only a single woman could twist that into what is romantic?
Well, because I only have dated guys that are I have so many issues. You have to take care of me. And I'm always okay.
Oh, I have to take, you don't understand. Who gets medication? And then he's always he's constantly telling me this. If something happens to me, I go in a coma or something, you got to make sure they give me anxiety meds. You got to make sure I'm getting my anxiety meds. I'm
in the coma?
Yes.
You're fine. You're sleeping.
No, see, you think, I'll just tell him that and he'll be fine. No, he's going to ask you that 3,700 more times throughout your marriage. Okay, so we got to go because I don't know why they end
the show's ending, Bonnie.
Over.
There's a deadline.
I hate boundaries. So I'm going to be at the Cornelius Street Cafe here in New York City. Please come. Google it. I don't know how to get tickets. I wish I had more information
what
for
day?
You. It's Saturday, this coming Saturday, and it's an early show at 6 p.m. so you can go for dinner after and it'll be a nice night.
It's great food there. I've heard.
Okay. There you go.
Is it in Brooklyn or Manhattan?
In Manhattan.
Okay. With your book?
No, it's not a book thing.
I'm at Rooster Teeth Feathers next weekend, October.
In Sunnyvale, California?
Yeah, in
That's
Sunnyvale.
Where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Just coming to the show.
Terrible PA.
On the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. I might not actually be there on Thursday, but 23rd, 24th, 25th. And then the next weekend, I'm at Rumors in Winnipeg.
Ah, Rumors in Winnipeg. That's a great club. You do 2 weeks there, right?
I'm only doing a week.
Oh, I guess you didn't get along with the owner.
I had the option to do 2 weeks. No, I'm just doing a week.
They won't get your straw bed as per your contract.
It reminds you of the old days. You're toughing it out.
Go ahead, Tom. Thank you for coming, by the way.
Thanks for having me. I'll be at the Nashville Zanies, 22nd through the 24th of September, Vermont Comedy Club the week after that. And
That's a great club.
And then Good Nights in Raleigh, North Carolina
Also
the week after that. All with Nikki Glaser.
Oh, Nikki's got quite a tour going.
I'm meeting up with Tom and Nikki in Nashville next week. You can see me there in the audience. Laughing. Where are you guys going?
You should open for them with a little song.
I know.
That'd be awesome.
I would love to. I haven't been asked. I will be on the West Coast, however, October 5th in Seattle, Washington, hitting all of your favorite cities, Portland, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, Sacramento, LA, San Juan Capistrano, Solana Beach, Phoenix, and Tucson in October with Eric Hutchinson. You can get tickets at anyamarina.com.
And also don't forget to get the Mitch Hedberg box set from Comedy Central Records. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you. Thanks, Bonnie.
We love you.